to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over. Will the world stop just for me?
You wanna make a difference, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starving for your laughter, yearning for your love. Your love. You got to live it like you never lived before. Love it like you want it more and more. Be you. That's what you're here for. You're more than enough. More than enough.
Hi, everybody. This is Frank Coppola. How are you doing today? I'm so happy to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing with you about our topic today, which is procrastination. Be able to use it to your total advantage. I'll be taking you on a little bit of a journey. What I do is I work with people who have attention deficit disorder, as well as entrepreneurs who have issues with organization, time management, disorganization, or impulsivity, and issues such as this. And today I hope to bring you up to speed on what I believe is the latest thinking on attention deficit disorder and latest thinking on procrastination. So to get us started, I'm gonna take just a minute. I have to share the screen here because we'll be looking at a PowerPoint. I'm looking at a little animation piece. So here we go. Let's take a look and see where we are. Okay. This is weird. All right, Philip, I'm having a little bit of a difficulty here. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we see it. We see you, Frank.
All right, hold on one second. Here we go.
This morning, I got up and got ready quickly because I had to get a lot of stuff done. I sat down at my desk to start getting my stuff done, and I spilled my coffee, so I got a sponge to clean it up, and I figured I'd take an extra minute to clean the whole desk because a clean desk would help me get my stuff done. When I was finished, I realized I hadn't eaten anything, and I didn't want to be hungry while I got my stuff done, so I went into the kitchen and I was out of cereal. When I got to the grocery store, I remembered a bunch of other crap I needed to get, and I figured I was already there, so I did my shopping for the week so I didn't have to worry about it while I got my stuff done. When I got home, I didn't feel like cereal anymore, and so I made an omelet and I did the dishes so I wouldn't have to do them after I got my stuff done. And then I went out to get some oil from the hardware store because my desk chair is kind of squeaky and I didn't want to be distracted by a squeaky chair while I got my stuff done. When I got back, it was getting kind of late and I knew I wouldn't be able to get my stuff done today, so I started watching the Twilight Zone marathon on TV. I just have to make sure I get to bed early because I want to be well rested tomorrow so I can get my stuff done.
You ever feel like you want to get your stuff done? I bet you do. Let me go from the beginning here. So as I said, we're going to take a little journey on using procrastination to your greatest advantage. And I just want to make sure that you guys can see this. Philip, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's begin. Hey, Philip, what did you think of the little film?
I thought it was hysterical, Frank.
Isn't it?
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You got to get your stuff done.
Absolutely, man.
Okay, so let's begin. Procrastination, use procrastination to your greatest advantage. What I'm going to do is take you a little bit on this journey about procrastination. And throughout the PowerPoint presentations, I'm going to give you suggestions to manage your procrastination so that you can be more successful in your personal and professional life, because that's really what it's about, as well as your health, which is really dovetailing with what Karen had to say. Because procrastination can affect you in so many ways, including your health, especially when you're waiting. So you'll see what I mean here. In order to move along this road here, we need to take a little bit of a risk. You've got to go beyond the way you've been thinking and to really take a look at how I can approach this whole procrastination thing, not as a bad thing, but as actually something that you can use as a partner in your life. So Nelson Mandela has this wonderful quote: "There is no passion to be found playing small in settling for a life that is less than one you are capable of living." So we want to really learn this about this no matter what, so that procrastination doesn't get in your way anymore, or not as much, to say the least. So here are some of the issues with procrastination. It makes you feel unworthy, untrustworthy. It makes you lose respect for yourself. Makes you miss opportunities. Procrastination makes you get less done. It diminishes the quality of your work and your life. Procrastination sucks the fun out of everything. And procrastination robs you of the joy of creation. That's right, the joy of creating. So procrastination is really wrapped around fears. So let me just run these down. You see them in front of you, but I wanted to at least speak about several of them. Fears of failure, fears of mistakes, fears of not finishing, fears of finishing, or perfectionism, doing it wrong, not knowing the rule book, fear of success, being found out. I used to have that fear. If they only knew who I really was, then they wouldn't want to be bothered. And of course, lack of trust. Now, there are different kinds of procrastinators. I don't know what they are for you, but let's just go down here a little bit. There's the perfectionist. You can't do anything unless it's perfect. Then we have the what ifer. Yeah, but what if we don't do it this way, we try it another way? And then we have Captain No. No, we can't really do it that way. Then it's so excited, but maybe not today. And then we have the vampire, the one that sucks all the energy out of you. Then we have the one that says, I can't see the whole thing. There's so many possibilities, but the Riddler, I don't know which way to go. The enthusiastic and the energetic. So many things that I can't. The great pretender. Well, I don't know. It could be this, it could be that. Or overwhelmed. I just can't do anything. I'm completely overwhelmed right now. Forget it. The thrill seeker, the arousaler, the avoiders, and then the ones that have difficulty making decisions. And I'm going to show you how to make a decision quickly and easily, if decision making is an issue for you. So take a look here. And if you've got a piece of paper or a pencil, I should have told you this before, make a note. Which one of these would classify you? There may be one, there may be a couple, but write them down because we'll come back to them later. Now, with procrastination, there always seems to be some sort of problem. But the problem is never the problem. The problem is how you feel about the problem. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or like the perfectionist and all the rest, you won't get things done. But you have to remember, for every problem, there must be a solution. So the problems are actually pointing you in the direction of what you want to accomplish. So you should embrace that problem. Really like, wow, this is great. I have this problem. It's got to be a solution to it. Now, if you want to really do something that move your life along, particularly in the area of procrastination, learn to love what you hate. That sounds a little crazy, right? Learn to love what you hate. Love what you do when you do it. When you're doing this, you master life. Meaning, even when you hate what you're doing, you love it, you embrace it. Because hate allows you to do what you love. Again, it's pointing you in the direction of what you love by taking on hate and embracing it and moving forward with courage. That was the Nelson Mandela quote that I spoke about, courage. And then the last part is to just take action. Taking action means one step forward, 1 inch forward. Just moving in a direction that will get you to where you want to go, which is one of the most important pieces with procrastination. You need to know where you're going. You need to know what you want. Because unless you know what you want, you'll just get whatever comes to you, and you'll be frustrated and you'll be angry. But when you know what you want, it tells the universe, send it to me. And I'm a big fan of the universe. I'm a big fan of not spirituality, universal laws, these kinds of things. Let's move on. So please write this down. What's the single most important question you have regarding procrastination? Take a moment and just write that down, because this will set an intention for the presentation. And at any particular time, you can contact me, and I've given information throughout here, and I will answer those questions. You'll just have to set up an appointment with my calendar, my online calendar, which I'll show you in one of the slides moving forward. Some of my favorite quotes. The organizational meeting of the Procrastination Club has been put off until next week. Never run for a bus, there'll always be another. Social page. Now, if you're a human being or an entrepreneur, but especially if you're a human being, then many people have poor organizational skills. And the people that have poor organizational skills have a tendency to procrastinate. They have trouble starting and finishing. There's chronic lateness. Frequently forgetting appointments, commitments, and deadlines. Constantly losing and misplacing things. You know that the keys are there somewhere, but you can't find them. Underestimating time to take the complete tasks. Again, if this is familiar to you, we're moving forward. Now, the secret to your prosperity and success is knowing and appreciating, understanding, and being grateful for what you do well. Gratitude is a wonderful way to overcome procrastination. Being grateful for what you have. Gratitude. Life is situational, so is procrastination situational. You don't have procrastination all the time. Now, that's an important thought, and we'll come back to that later. as we're moving forward, rather, it's an important point. Procrastination is situational. Someone says, I procrastinate all the time. No, you don't. You don't procrastinate all the time. Now, the reality is that procrastination is the number one cause for relationships breaking down and businesses breaking down. So you're going to add lack of clarity and sustained focus and things like that, and you can see that it will start to produce a lot of stress, a lot of sense of overwhelm. You may run into fear and doubt and worry, which are all part of what I said about feelings. Your problems are not the problems, it's the way you're feeling about that problem. So we want to be able to address that, to accept that's the way you're feeling, and still move forward. There are 3 universal laws here. It'll be difficult for me to go through all of these, but I just want to go through one of these. Well, I'll give you a brief overview. The universal law of more life basically says that how you think will create your world. So if you're thinking negative, then what's going to happen? It will produce negativity around you. If you're thinking positive, it will produce positivity around you. So you're either living or you're dying. That's the whole concept of more life to all, no less for none. So that's more life. The universal law of polarity means that there are always one portion. Meaning, if you were to have a circle, or better still, you can't have up without down, you can't have in without out, you can't have money and no money, you can't have all of these things. Because if you take a circle and cut it down the middle, on one side of the circle is, let's say, no money, on the other side of the circle is money, but the entire circle is money. So when someone says there's no money, that's absolutely wrong. There is money, you just can't see it. So this is an important thing to recognize, specifically around procrastination. If you say, I can't help it, I have all this procrastination, there's a part of you that doesn't procrastinate. And again, we'll come to that. And then, of course, there's the universal law of cause and effect. Everything you do will immediately cause an effect. Most people say, I don't have enough money, for example. Well, that's the effect. The question to ask is, what is the cause that you don't have enough money? And then you work on the cause. Anybody that's ever written a book will always start out with the problem. The problem is the effect. The solution is the cause. Now I'm going to talk to you about decision. This is one of the most important pieces of procrastination, because procrastination is all about indecision. So if that's the case, what does it take to make a decision? Now, if you look at this, you can use this every time you have to make a decision. And here are the 4 questions. Whatever it is this something I want to do, be, or have? Whatever that is. Will doing, being, or having this get me closer to my goal? Your big vision for your life and your business. Will doing, being, and having this get me closer to my goal? Number 3, is doing, being, or having this in alignment to the law of life. As I spoke, more life to all and less to none. And then the last one is, will doing, being, or having this violate the rights of others? You ask these questions every time you need to make a decision. But here's the kicker. You must get yes for the first three questions and a no for the final question. If you get no for any of the first three, then that's not the place for you to go. And once you make the decision, I'm going to make sure I have everything I need to travel. Once you make that decision, then you do whatever it takes to get everything you need to travel. You just keep on doing it and keep on doing it and keep on doing it until you say, you know what? I have everything I need, or it might be better for me not to travel unless I have it all together. This is the whole nature of making decisions. Now, another issue with procrastination is why? Well, it usually has to do with attention. So here are some issues with attention. Things that get in the way, roadblocks. I'm not able to pay attention because I'm bored, or I'm disinterested, or I'm understimulated, or I'm overstimulated, or there's something physical. I'm tired, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry. And any form of fear, chaos, overwhelm, stress, anxiety, indecision, negative self-talk, and you guys can fill in the blanks, whatever that may be for you. The cost of procrastination. See if you can relate to any of these. Self-esteem, money, love, security, health, career, relationships, money, reputation, stress, confusion, lifestyle, work. This is why getting an understanding of what procrastination is, and learning to overcome it is essential. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I was in television commercials for a long time, and I've been, that's interesting. I've been in television commercials for a long time, and I've been in the entertainment business as well as education. These are some of the things that I was involved in. I know the Temptations well. I sang on stage with them, and they became very good friends of mine. Wrote music with Whitney Houston and a bunch of things. Not blowing my horn, I'm just explaining my background. But you know what? I wind up losing very big because I held off doing things because of my own fears. There were serious consequences, not understanding or knowing that I was consciously doing that. And literally millions of dollars were lost. My credibility got damaged. My relationship with my family was damaged. And all the while, I didn't have any emotional memory of all of this. And my self-esteem was affected. And also, my company and myself and my partner, Rob McCall, worked with Pixar, the people who did the Academy Award-winning movie Babe. We actually helped set them up in business, but then we walked away from it. All because of this procrastination stuff. So it can be lethal if you don't pay attention to it. That's me in the middle right here singing. No, sorry. But I did get on stage to sing with the Temps, which was a thrill of my life. And Remember this, if you're struggling, there is something you just don't understand. Does not mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means you just don't understand. And you can get people who can help you understand. Like me, for example. And there are other people in your life that you can go to that can help you with whatever that area is. Like a friend of mine was saying, I don't know, I don't know what it is to have a really good relationship. And I said, who do you know that has good relationships? And he told me a couple of people. I said, why don't you sit down and interview them? Tell me, what is it that makes your relationship work so well? Most of the time, they won't even think about it. But if you ask them, they'll pretty much say the same thing. Once you have those listing of things, then you can start thinking about, oh, this is what it means to be in a good relationship. Just remember that. There's always somebody there who can help you. For every problem, there is a solution. And when I say string and steel, I mean that from my childhood, I had some issues, and then they wind up coming into my adulthood. And that string became like a piece of steel wiring that was connected. To unravel the issues that had to do with, let's say, procrastination, I had to go back into my childhood and look around there. That's a whole other course into itself, having to do with what happens to children after the age of 7 and what happens before that. But that's for another time. Again, anybody wants to talk with me about this, you'll see where you can make an appointment with me. So here's the question to ask yourself. And this is the question I asked after I sang with the Temps. Who is the Frank that when he's being frank, he is frank? That's a question you may want to ask yourself. Who is, put your name in there, that when they are being, put your name in there, they are, put your name in there. Because he is frank, in this case, was a lot different than the way my life was acting at that particular time. And we're going back quite a while. But I'm trying to tell you that this is a journey that we wind up going on. So you don't have to be someone who's constantly procrastinating and saying, oh, I have this thing about procrastination, that must be me. No, it's not you. That's just something that happens to you. You want to break free of this. So here's the good news. No one ever procrastinates. I say this because you do not get up in the morning and say, wow, today is the day I'm going to procrastinate. No, it doesn't happen that way. That's not what takes place. What causes procrastination really is procrastination happens to you. Meaning, let's say you have a room that's in disorder. So you walk into the room and you go, my God, what a mess. And you turn around and walk out. I believe that it's triggered something earlier time in your life. And then that happens, you are overwhelmed by what took place in the past. And then what you do is you don't move forward. To clean up that room, I recommend that you find an accountability partner who can work with you, an organizer who can give you some suggestions about how to lay out the room, as well as how to get all the material out of the room, how to declutter. This is a whole science unto itself. But again, procrastination is not you doing it, it's happening to you. So if that's the case, become aware of that and say, oh, what was going on with me just before I started to procrastinate? Whatever it is, what was going on with me just before I decided to sit down and pay my bills? And then I didn't do it. So here's what I was talking to you about. I'm offering a free complimentary coaching call. The best way to do this is to go to this website, addingperspective.com/calendar. addingperspective.com/calendar. Also, there is, with the logo that I've got, my telephone number is there as well, and you can call me directly, 646-295-5625. I'm going to be doing a program, it's called The Gift of ADD, using ADHD as a partner to grow and succeed. And your symptoms will show you directions. When that comes about, I hope to contact you all, and we'll be able to invite you into that program. Again, addingperspective.com/calendar. One of the big issues with procrastination is that when you promise to do something and you don't keep your promises, you wind up losing trust. For example, if someone said to you, hey, I'll meet you on the corner at 7 o'clock, and you showed up at 7 o'clock and they didn't show up at 7 o'clock and they came in a quarter after 7, you'd say, what happened? And they would say, oh, I got stuck in traffic or something like that. Now, the same thing happens. You're going to meet somebody at 7 o'clock and they don't show up for like 7:30. Now you're thinking, what the heck is going on with this guy? I can't, I don't think I trust this person because they broke their promise. Third time comes around, then you don't want to deal with them anymore because they're not reliable. If that happens with yourself, you begin to lose trust with yourself because you broke your promises. And when that happens, it will affect you emotionally, spiritually, physically, etc. So this is trust. Let's take a look at what trust is, because I think if you understand this, you'll be able to notice it with other people and then notice it with yourself. There are two distinctions of trust. One is sincerity, and the other one is competence. Sincerity means, am I doing what I say I'm going to do? And competence means, am I capable to do that? Now, for someone, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have someone that's working for you and you say to them, listen, I need to get this package out the door. And the person says, yeah, I can get that done by 4:30. And I say, great, you can get it done by 4:30, terrific. Now they do, they get it out the door, and 4:30 comes, it's out the door. They do that a number of times. You can say, you know what? I think I can trust this person. They say that they're going to do it, and then they do it. Great. Then you have another person, maybe, they say, I need to get this package out the door. They say, yes, by 4:30, not a problem. I'm definitely going to do that. 4:30 comes, and they miss the deadline. And they come back and they say, I'm really sorry, I missed the deadline. I'm really, really upset about it. Okay, that's fine. The next day comes and the same thing happens. You realize this is a person who's very sincere, but they're just not capable of doing it. And that's when you can recommend recommend them to another department that they're interested in, or recommend them to another job because it may not be the best place for them to be with you. Then you also have a situation where someone says, I'll meet you on the corner at 7 o'clock. And I'll be there, no problem. And you go there 7 o'clock, they're not there. And where they are is they're backing a truck into where you live and they're taking all the furniture out of your house. These are people that are not sincere and they're capable, but they're capable of doing things that are going to hurt you. Now, These are categories of people. The first person who can't get the things done and is having difficulty, but they're very sincere, we call them a jerk. Not in a bad way, it's just they're kind of jerky. They start it, they stop, they start it, they stop, they're a little jerky. Then we have minimally competent. So you've taught them things and they're starting to get it together. They get things done on time. They overcome their procrastination issues, because a lot of times people don't necessarily procrastinate for other people, but they'll procrastinate for themselves. That's one of the things I found. The next level is competent, meaning you say you're going to do it, they get it done. Then you have another person who's called a virtuoso, like a musician, meaning they can play anything that's put in front of them. And then a master is somebody who basically can redesign the way people are looking at things. Like I consider Karen Mayo to be a master, because she's studied and studied. She's a virtuoso and she's creating things all the time. She's a master at her field. Remember I told you about the guy that backs the truck up into your home and takes everything out? That's a criminal jerk. But you can be a criminal jerk by constantly breaking your promises. How many times have you said to somebody, particularly if you're a person who has issues with procrastination or time management or ADD or et cetera, yeah, I'll definitely do that, I'll definitely do that, and they don't do it. Yeah, but you said you were going to do this and you didn't do it. No, I'll be okay. You get to the point where someone actually no longer trusts you. You put into this category as a criminal jerk. When that happens, it's practically impossible to get trust back. Practically impossible. So this is why it's very important to be aware of these things. Now, how do you get the trust back? Regaining the trust. You go to the person that you've offended and you say to them, listen, if I were you regarding making appointments with me, I would not trust me. Now, what does that do? That says to the other person, they're beginning to take responsibility for their actions. And the trust immediately starts to come up. So if I were you regarding X, Y, and Z, I wouldn't trust me. Then the next thing is, but I promise that I will do X, Y, and Z. Now here's the other part. Would you be willing to work with me? In other words, if you ever doubt anything that I've said I'm going to do and I don't do it, or I said I'm going to do it, if there's ever a problem with doubting me, then call me out on it. Bring it to my attention. And if it happens more than another time, then that'll be the end of it. But then you have to keep your promise. This happened to me once, and I was able to do this. And I used to always say to my friends, oh, I really can't get together with you. I got to go pick up my cousin in the airport. My cousin wasn't coming into the airport. I just didn't want to get together with him because I was tired. I worked in the restaurant. My father had a restaurant. I worked in the restaurant. So I once went to these guys and I said, did you ever think that I ever broke my promise with you guys? They all said the same thing. Oh yeah, absolutely. I said, really? I said, yeah, that's just you. I said, no, that's not me anymore. And I did this. Would you guys be willing to work with me? If you ever doubt that I'm not keeping my promise, bring it to my attention. And from that day forward, I never broke my promise. And I switched around. I went from being a criminal jerk to be somebody who was very confident and could be relied upon. So you can shift your thinking and you can shift the way people think about you. Let's move forward. So here's the thing about procrastination. Focus equals 1. Focus on your strengths to overcome procrastination. Think, what motivates you? The key to overcoming procrastination is in finding what you love to do. And what you love to do is based on your strengths. Another, be specific around procrastination. Specificity. What do you want? Be very specific about what you want. Last, get into action. Action relieves depression. You want to find a way. When I say action relieves depression, I mean start slowly with whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Get an accountability partner. Enroll a friend. Make it fun. Okay? Play full out. Share the experience. You'll be fine with this. My friend Stephanie said this. People aren't stupid, systems are stupid. If you are a perfectionist, let go of control. I only have a few more minutes, so let me go through this. I don't want to speed up, but I'll do the best I can. People have a tendency to remain the same until they can isolate and recognize what it is they want to change. Again, awareness. To overcome procrastination, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Thoughts focused on strengths lead to action, which generates passion. And strengths move into action, which moves into passion. A lot of times people say, you know, I got to find my passion and then I'll do what I need to do. And then I can really get started on things. No, it's the other way around. You got to find out what you really love to do and then start doing it. And you may fall down in the process, but at least you're learning skills. You take action. And over time, it just may be that you become passionate about this. So here's an action plan. Awareness of what it is that you're dealing with. Knowledge what works. Thoughts. What thoughts keep you from accomplishing the things you want in your life? Now, obviously, we can't go all through this. This is why I'm recommending you contact me. So you go awareness, acknowledge, thoughts, replace your limiting thoughts with positive, empowering thoughts. Motivation, find your purpose in life. Anticipate what the circumstances could be. Make a list of those situations so that you know in the future what you can do or not do. What are the details for that situation? Where did the time go? Learn to use procrastination and shape these moments into your competitive advantage. This is a good use of my time, is the question. Is this a good use of my time? Oh, question mark would help. Now, I'm going to show you something about motivation, and then we're going to wrap up on that. How to beat procrastination. Know and control your task, increase your expectancy, increase the task, decrease impulsiveness. Now, this is called the procrastination equation. Expectancy times value over impulsivity, impulsiveness times delay. Expectancy times value, impulsiveness times delay equals motivation. Motivation is the opposite of procrastination. It's opposite. If you're motivated, you will not procrastinate. So what is expectancy? Expectancy is, what is it that I want to accomplish? What is that thing? The value is, why does it mean so much to you? Because if it doesn't mean much for you, you won't do it. You say, oh yeah, I'll do that. But the truth is, it doesn't really mean that much for you. It won't get done. Delay means the time that you put in that you're actually going to do this. Meaning, I'm going to get this done in 2 weeks. If 3 weeks go by, you can pretty much guarantee that you're not going to want to be doing this because it's not meeting your expectancy. It's not meeting what you want to accomplish. And when this happens, impulsiveness sets in. And impulsiveness will immediately kick in procrastination. I could do an entire weekend just on this alone. But I wanted to just give you a sense of what this was about. Get a few more minutes. Let's do a couple of secrets about procrastination. You and everyone else has problems with this. Doesn't mean you have a disability. Actually, it's an asset. The procrastination is sending you signals. Your job is to interpret and understand them. And your signs and symptoms and traits and behaviors, they inform you. Whatever's going on with you will set a direction for you. Remember when I said, do what you love, do what you hate, it'll set direction. Here's the biggest secret. Your procrastination is trying to communicate with you. It's talking to you. It's saying, hey, this is what I need. This is what I want. And here's the super secret. You have a unique proprietary code designed for you to conquer your fears and to succeed and to prosper. So here's how you crack the procrastination code. Your job is to learn how to listen to your procrastination and to decipher your particular code, how you listen. There's human software. Your code is your own operating system that's unique to you. Your task is to find out how your operating system works. And the key to your success and power is to discover your code to reveal who you truly are. The procrastination code. So understand, you're not procrastinating. Procrastinating is happening to you. However, procrastination is actually setting direction for you. It's telling you something. Your job is to listen closely to what that is. Could be as simple as, I don't really like to do that because it's not in my sweet spot. Or it could be, I don't like doing this because I don't know why I don't like doing it. Then you have to go out and find out. Because overcoming procrastination is a verb. It's not a noun. Procrastination is not a noun, it's a verb. You have to go out and discover how it works for you. And that's where we are right now. I want to thank you very much for being on this call. I want to offer you, on this video, I want to offer you a complimentary coaching call to answer any of the questions that you may have around this. Again, you can go to my online calendar, addingperspective.com/online calendar or /calendar. And then we could talk about this other program I have setting up to see you might be interested in it. It's not a sales call by any stretch. I don't even know when I'm going to be doing it. I'm just going to find out if people are interested. Again, addingperspective.com/calendar. And I want to thank you very, very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure to be doing this with you. Okay, my friends, thank you. Bye-bye.
I've been standing on the corner, waiting for the light to turn green.
Can I go now? Cross over. Will the world stop just for me?
You wanna make it clear, but you don't know how. Take the time and break away from all your nasty doubts. The world is starting for you. yearning for your love.